It's been almost 2 years since recreational marijuana became legal in Oregon, and we still don't have hard data on the number of offenders who've been driving high. And as I also found out, the state doesn't even have a way of immediately testing drivers suspected of using pot.
To your left, and look up to your right. When did you last smoke marijuana?
4 nights ago.
4 nights ago?
Yes.
Nothing recent? I think the first time I heard a measure, an actual number put to it was roughly 6 months after the legalization of marijuana. And at that point, it was up on the order of 300% increase on marijuana-related DUI. So it could be alcohol and marijuana.
After more than 7 years on the job, Springfield police officer Joe Burke has seen his share of Deweys. Tonight, after a crash on Highway 126 near Mohawk, Burke suspects he's got another one on his hands.
I can tell you smoked marijuana. When was the last time you smoked? Be real, not 4 days ago.
After more denials, Burke takes her to the station for a breathalyzer,
Keep going,
which she passes, but he still thinks she's high.
They think that I was smoking pot.
That's going to be difficult to prove. Unlike Washington and Colorado, Oregon does not have a blood test for THC. And even if a blood test were available, the state hasn't yet set a legal limit for marijuana in the bloodstream. So how do officers know if someone's stoned? That's where Eugene Police Officer Travis Cooper comes in. He's one of only 15 drug recognition experts in Lane County.
Ask the person to more questions about their health, ask them to perform more field sobriety tests, take their blood pressure, vital signs.
He says this method has been scientifically proven and holds up in court, but there's a flaw. How long it could take a drug recognition expert to arrive and evaluate that suspected impaired driver.
So it could be immediate, all the way up to a couple hours.
Another issue officers are facing, perception. Some people who smoke daily think it's just fine to drive high.
I would say it's more dangerous to be driving and texting than going behind the wheel, smoking.
I don't feel that it's impaired my, ever impaired my judgment or my motor skills.
Usually I just drive slower.
You don't wait a long time before getting behind the wheel?
No.
They're thinking, I'm not stoned. It's not that immediate high, so I'm okay. They don't realize the other impacts besides just that euphoric feeling of being high.
According to studies, there's no debate. Marijuana makes you a bad driver. It's hard to control your speed, stay in your lane, and multitasking, forget about it. Even worse, marijuana seems to be getting more potent.
Ordinary cannabis flower that has, 25% THC, as where, 30 years ago it was like 6%.
So how bad is this problem? Well, that's hard to say because impaired drivers often have more than one drug in their system.
We have a lot of alcohol Deweys where there's a cannabis component. So for instance, you have a young college kid who they blow a .08, right? We consider that an alcohol DUI. We don't call a drug recognition expert in, but they could still be stoned out of their gourd.
As for that Springfield driver, she was charged with DUII after a drug recognition expert evaluated her. Her case still pending. As the trend continues to grow, and officers recommend that people use their best judgment, wait longer than needed, and put a plan in place ahead of time. At this time, a campaign against marijuana and intoxicated driving does not exist like in Colorado. In the studio, Adeline Guajardo, KZI 9 News.